All right. So, how much money have your students made?
So I can't tell you the exact amount that the students have made, but you see me posting the amount of money and the trades that they take in on a daily basis, and they're getting a lot of wins. And the beautiful thing about this is a skill set that they didn't have at first prior to our class. Once they learned the skill set with Chris Cole, they're doing the trading, and now they have an ability to be able to earn an income utilizing this new skill set. And the beautiful thing about that, we have some single mothers that was able to quit their job, fire their jobs, as I like to say, right? And now they're hired by the skills and the knowledge that they have, rather than by utilizing their time, right, on someone else's time. They have the ability to fire them and let them go because they're non-essential in this particular economy. And one of the things that we teach in the wealth standard is skill set diversification. And what skill set diversification looks like in real world action is making sure that you always have something that softens the blows of when one thing doesn't work out. Meaning that, let's look at the recession that hit, right? Or some people say technically it's not a recession. Yes, I understand all that, but I'm gonna call it a recession. Given the fact that so many people are suffering, the upside, there's a lot of entrepreneurs who were ready and who had their pivot game strong, and then they was able to come up, because the real social distancing is between the wealthy and the poor, and it's the elimination of the middle class. Even though it's one of the easiest times to get money, one of the biggest wealth transfers in history, it's also one of the easiest times to get lost, swept away, and lost in poverty for the next 10, 20, 30 years, and your family is set back trying to figure out how they can get into these wealth standards. What is a standard? It's a criteria for which something must be done. It's a way towards it. And without standards in our community, there's no way for us to hold each other, generations to come, accountable. Because we can't say, well, mom, pop, why you didn't have a diversified portfolio? Why you didn't have your money secured in gold, right? Why you didn't have your own self-banking systems, right? How come you didn't invest in land and things of that nature? Well, if that's a standard, and we say, well, all black families do this, they own an LLC, blah, 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 then now we can have a system of accountability, because this is the expectation that the mother and the father has when they're building a family. So without those standards in place, then of course we will continue to be in last place, right? And as Dr. Claude Anderson once said, or really it was, Dr. Claude Anderson, he talked about this point. And that's when he was saying that we call it a race because it is, right? But we never understood that it's a race, right? But even in this race, sometimes we're looking at the wrong color, and we always comparing ourselves with, of course, the white race. Why? Because we know that they are systematic oppressors, right? That's who they are, right? And white fragility really, rather than white supremacy, but white fragility is wrapped inside this makeup, this mask of what we call white supremacy. And so we've been dealing with white fragility, white patriarchal, white matriarchal intellect, systematic oppression for far too long. But what it does is it has us focuses on white people all the time for everything, right? For the highest income households are not whites, it's Asians. The most taxable investment accounts in America is Asians, right? The highest paid in tech is Asians. But for some reason, anytime that we're looking at a standard towards wealth, a standard towards power, a standard towards any of these things, we're always looking at white, because we've never been taught how to look at wealth. We've never been taught how to look at blueprints. We've been taught how to compare ourselves because of our trauma that we've dealt with the oppressors and their children, the slave masters' children, right? And now we know that one of the lowest levels of observation is to just see race, to see color, that you discriminate or you're biased against another person because of they're black or they're white or they're brown, right? But you don't see the way that their mind thinks. You don't see their color. You don't see their soul, their spirit, their creed, class, whatever you want to go towards. Those are low-level observations. High-level observations are being able to see the standards that each culture upholds that allow them to be in a place of power and position, right, that they are currently in rulership. So when we're studying a race, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, study the white man. You can learn from the white man. They work together in a collective effort, and they make no excuses for their failures, right? So they coming together. When you look at the brown community, we may laugh and be like, yo, it's four of them packed in a car. Look at them working on this. They're taking the job. They are willing to put themselves in a position with no excuses, regardless of who cares, who looking at what, and what standards that everybody else is trying to hold them to say that that's not cool. They don't care. They building for their family, responsible men and women. The Asian community, they don't get tough in politics. They build their own, they support their own, they circulate their dollar with their own. The Jewish community, they represent 2% of the population. Yet when you look at the top 100 billionaires in America, they represented at 25%. The black community, we're at $1.7 trillion spending power with no accountability on where we circulate our dollars. Now, if we were in investment power, that'd be different because we'd be getting an ROI, we get a return on our investments. But because we are financially illiterate, that we don't know what to do with money. And a lot of criminality that exists in our communities, just about 99% of it is all money related. So when I say that it's equity versus equality, that is dollar or the ballot, that yes, I'm a vote, but I'm gonna vote with my dollar because I'm a corporation, right? And each black family should be a corporation, should be represented as a corporation. You understand that we live in the United States of America, four-corner contract. Anything within that four corners of that Constitution is where you pull your rights out in this corporation, the United States. So if you don't know the law, you can't use it. They use it against you, right? The 14th Amendment stole the rights of black people, passed it over to citizens, which are corporations, which are entities. So I said, well, shit, corporations got more rights than black people, let's form corporations. And this four-corner contract. Now, we know we human beings, we know that we gods, but if we're gonna operate in commerce in the laws of the land, then we should know how to operate to where we can be free and have real ownership and real power. That sometimes we think the most revolutionary people are the protesters. That's step one. How can step one be the most revolutionary? It just shows our lack of progress. See, we don't have a culture that says that, wait a minute, at the step one, we know our problem. What's step two? What is the strategy of execution to where we can get towards power? We go from problem to power. Power gives you the ability to solve your own problems, right? So problem, inequality. Power, equity. Fund your own equality, problem solved, right? That we don't worry about discrimination in the workplace. We're not looking at the fact that babies are 3 times more likely, if taken care of by white doctors, right, to die. We're talking about mothers, right? They go in there and we hear it all of the time that you need greater access to health care because the system is killing black women, killing black life, right? Yet we would rather promote abortion than say, let's fund our own hospitals. See, now there's something fundamentally wrong with it because we're not thinking from a power position, right? We'd rather suicide than power. So when I say ownership or slaveship, I mean that in a very real sense, that unless we own it, we're owned. Because we're on someone else's property and we become their property once we are, right? And so what we've been able to do at the Wealth Standard, right now we headed to almost $1 million in funding for our students. We're only $100K away. We just got 2 more funding letters. 2 of our students got funded $50,000 today. So congratulations to both of them. But that could be you as well, right? People ask us all the time how much money it takes to start trading. You have to understand that we have no excuses for anything. All things can be done. Once you start to live within your limitations, live within what you think are possible, then you automatically cut yourself off from so many things that can happen. That's why I say interact with opportunity, don't react to success. Right? 3-4 months ago, you could have jumped into the opportunity, been a one with a new skill set, making money on a daily basis, telling your job you fired. Right? But now you hearing that students have got funded, we almost had $1 million in funding, and you're like, damn, I should have been jumped into this. The market is in a crazy volatile space, right? Number one, nothing about the market makes any sense, right? Fed's pumping in all this money. Donald Trump is the chairman of the Feds because of the Feds and the Treasury all mixed together now, right? As they always been. But that means that we also in an election year, and you have a multitude of different things going on, including all of these retail traders and everybody trading with their app. But the volatility is good, right? When things are going up, things are going down, it's your opportunity to make some paper. I was always taught about the fall of America since I was younger. And if we know that America is going to fall, then wouldn't it be great if we can make money as it goes down as we came up? Listen, I'm not about to be making these videos all day long for you consistently. Not for those who already know. For me to be able to reach my people that have never heard this message before, that never heard that they need to diversify their portfolio because cash is trash, inflation is rising, and they need somewhere to secure their money and hedge their bets. Right? That the average cat in the hood that's getting money right now, that's flexing, you know what I mean, clothes, shopping sprees, cars, right? Strip clubs, buying whatever you doing to floss, right? Fed's probably just building a case on you. Just waiting for they got more manpower. Oh yeah, you done racked up about goddamn $1 million. That's gonna be a good case for somebody. Or you can say, nah, let me chill out. Let me go invest this money somewhere. Let me go circulate it to where, you understand me, it's gonna be coming back to my peoples. Or you can continue to live how you've been living. You gonna look good for a second, right? But things hit, and you learn that cash is trash and you ain't got no investments, and ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you, especially if you seen this video. Right? Because you got a homie that's struggling, that's doing it the right way. They're doing it what you consider to be the square way. Right? But really that's an all-around individual. And you ain't even go invest in them. But you go spend $5,000 on some Louis, some Gucci, some Chanel. Right? You just bought a brand new car that's a depreciating asset. Right? You ain't taking no time to add any extra curriculum knowledge unto yourself because you think that the life that's been curated for you. See, I think it was a blue pill, red pill. They had an event and they said the white man is actually not the newest, right, human being on this planet Earth, not the youngest. The newest one is the nigga. That's the one that was made by America. See, white folks came from us, and then the nigga came from them. That was grafted from them out of us, and they were grafted out of us. And niggas are no good for black America. Niggas are no good for black family. Niggas are no good for wealth. A nigga is ignorant and selfish. You can be a real nigga all you want to. Doesn't make a difference. Ain't no future for a nigga. Sound good, but we so connected to a word, we don't even know how to give it up. Like how we really got power over ourselves is all we want to be as niggas. Whether you a low nigga, high nigga, fake nigga, real nigga, still nigga. As Jay-Z would say. We gotta go from niggas to gods. It's the only thing that deserves to be respected. Everything else, you get what you deserve. You only deserve what you work for. Knowledge of self, that's gonna build us that real wealth. So when we say we young, rich black guys, we ain't talking about money. We talking about that knowledge of self. Tap into the wealth standard, man. Have some accountability. Peace.